Over the next 36 hours, you're going to be challenged, and those challenges are something that our inner city community faces every day.
When I first heard about Sanctum Survivor, I thought, hey, I watch those shows on TV, and I'd like to really do that. And then I got thinking, wow, this could be a serious thing, you know. And I mean, just a simple thing like brushing your teeth, like how does that work?
The biggest challenge for me or to me was the safety, and second was, what do you do all day?
I was putting my little guy to bed last night, and he was all worried about me being on the streets. And then it kind of got me thinking, yeah, maybe there is a danger about being on the streets.
Before you leave, you'll receive a paper copy as well as a digital copy of your scenarios.
The biggest challenge out of all the things that we have to do, I think, is being able to reach the Ministry of Social Services by calling in.
Well, there's a simple challenge of we have to wash our hands at least 9 times today. And that sounds like a pretty simple task, but when you think that you have no place to go and you have to get to where you know that there's a washroom or some place to wash your hands.
There are real challenges that people with HIV living on the street are facing daily. Panhandling is going to be a tough one for me, and finding a place to do my laundry.
Well, we showed up in just our regular clothes, and they said they were taking all our clothes from us, and they had different clothes that are just available here on the fence that we could pick through, and I still don't think I have everything that I need yet.
I'm not the average sized person, so this is what I got. Everyone thought that these suit me just fine.
I feel great. In fact, I want to keep these. I want to bring these home because these are comfy.
First question is, approximately how much rent is allotted to a person who is on the SAP program or on the SED program?
The trivia challenge was questions on how you access things in the community. If you could win, the blankets or the bus tickets or the toonies, you have a bit of advantage. I believe I'm going to survive the 36 hours.
1, 2, 3, Survivor! Woo!
Our challenge, Ernie and I, are supposed to try to see the doctor. So checking in without any ID and then sitting and waiting, as many people in this community do. But Westside Community Clinic is very different than most, so even without ID I was able to check in. But what happens when they have to order tests? And that is a very real challenge to figure out how that's going to be funded. We're still waiting to see the doctor, and we'll see how long it takes.
Currently I'm at Comfy doing the dreaded laundry challenge, laundering my only set of clothes. Thanks to the good people at Comfy, I got a sheet to cover up my dangly legs and a borrowed shirt. My understanding is if the box of clothes at the front door does not fit your needs, then they will offer you a sheet. They have a limited number of sheets, so lucky we got here early because I might have missed it.
For our team, we need to place a call to the Ministry of Social Services because you need to be able to call in to make an appointment. Well, I've never known anyone to get in right away, but you could be waiting for 3-4 hours sometimes if it's a busy day. We're now down to 2 second in lines, and we've been on the phone for, I don't know, well over an hour.
One of the challenges that Jason and I were given is to obtain ID. You kind of need ID to get ID, and to access a lot of services, you really need to get a health card. But they're great here, and they will help you on your way, to get that happening.
One of the things that they do is the harm reduction with the needle exchanges.
We actually, I think our needle exchange rate's about 102%. So we get more needles than we give out. And the reason for that is it's all relationship based.
He mentioned some of the success stories they've had. With this approach, it's a non-judgmental approach where they offer help if people want it, and he said a lot of people have responded to that.
To come for food from the food bank, learned that 2,100 people are served food here at the food bank every month. So that's almost 10% of the population, so it's fairly shocking. Most of the food that was offered here looked very good, but would be difficult for a homeless person to deal with. So rice and grains, and thank God for the food bank. But here's the yogurt drinks and some cookies.
We are at the Saskatoon Food Bank, and we came here to get our food because we are hungry. One other good thing is that they allowed us to use the outlets here to charge our cell phones. One of the dilemmas that I guess if you don't have a home is where to do something as simple as to charge a cell phone. I was down to I think 8 or 9% and wondering what I was going to do before we got here to the food bank. So I'm really happy that we found a spot for that, and again, it's just another small reminder of the things that you take for granted.
I was in front of White Buffalo Youth Lodge, and a man had a seizure. So he was going off the bench, stiffened out, so another lady and I helped him get down, and then because he was foaming, I turned him just to the side so he could breathe and yelled, "Call an ambulance," and then I had water in my pocket, so I poured it on his head, which kind of brought him out a bit, and then tried to keep him calm until the ambulance got there. It's scary to see anyone like that, but I mean, the reality is that it's hot and it could happen, and so, yeah, it was a little bit scary, but you just don't think of that, you just know you need to help.
Approximately 8:30, I'm at the 300 block of Avenue F South. I was a police officer on the streets here in Riversdale, Pleasant Hill, Mayfair, for 27 years. But still, you know, I walk around here and there's not a block I can go on that I don't have a story that either has a tragedy or violence or something. So it's just all these memories everywhere. But the overall feeling of the day, even though, you know, it brought back some of the sadness and some of the tension that came with those calls, was we're winning, we're doing it slowly, incrementally, but we're making big changes, and I was really proud to be part of this today. It was amazing. The thing I would like to see in this community is that we don't have invisible people, basically, that we don't let people fall through the cracks.
Well, it's the sun's just gone down, and this is where our lodging is for the night. Bishop Don is here, and Ernie just show up. Dr. Morris Morgantine and Brad Johnner. Strength in numbers, and I guess so. We'll see who snores the loudest.
Exactly 10:41 in the evening. We're here at the Salvation Army. We're designated for Jason and myself to come here to the Salvation Army. This is where we're spending the night. We're in a dorm room. It's called Noah's Ark. There are 12 beds in there. There are lockers as well. We came here to sleep. It was interesting checking in. We don't have any ID, so that becomes a recurring issue.
I actually spent the night sleeping at the Brief Detox Center, and it was, I probably had one of the better sleeps because I had a bed to sleep on and there was a shower available this morning. I think what was a surprise for me was as soon as you get there, all your stuff gets locked up. Like you can't keep anything in your pockets, you can't keep your phone, any food you have, and you have to go to bed because if you're not in bed, you have to leave.
Last night, well, we were on Kinsman Park, and it's a very high foot traffic area, and a lot of people liaise in the park at all hours. There were sirens, a lot of sirens last night, you know, busy night, full moon, obviously for Saskatoon Police. The sun started coming up and getting a little bit warmer, and then a hot air balloon came in and inflated and took off from the park, right beside where we were sleeping. So it was very minimal sleep. If I was to choose to sleep on the street again, it wouldn't be at Kinsman Park. Like I said before, once you hear something, you can't unhear it. Once you talk about it, you're engaged. And I think that's what the goal was, and hopefully we've raised enough funds to get a good kickstart to Sanctum 1.5.